In this video, I am going to explain a method of distribution of cash to the partners during dissolution of partnership firm. Okay, partnership of accounts, piecemeal distribution of cash. So, when a partnership firm is dissolved, all the assets cannot be realized together at one single point of time. Assets will be sold and cash will be realized gradually only. So, as and when the assets are sold and cash is realized, it will be used to settle the liabilities in a particular order of priority. First, outsiders' liability will be settled, and then loan given by the partners will be settled, and then finally the amount due towards the partners' capital account will be settled. When we are settling partners' capital, there are two methods to follow. One is proportionate capital method and the other is maximum loss method. In this problem, I am going to explain proportionate capital method of settling partners' capital account. I am taking a simple problem where there are three partners A, B and C and their capital amounts are 40,000, 20,000, 20,000 and there. So this is their actual capital. Okay, and their profit sharing ratio. Their profit sharing ratio is 3:2:1. And we are going to do which method? Proportionate capital method of piecemeal distribution. So here the assumption is based on the profit sharing ratio, we are going to find out hypothetical proportionate capital. If any partner who is having capital in excess of that hypothetical proportionate capital, that excess capital, otherwise which is called a surplus capital, will have to be settled first, and then only the remaining partners' capital can be settled in their profit sharing ratio. Coming back to the problem, here the actual capital are 40, 20, 20,000. Profit sharing ratio is 3:2:1. For finding out the proportionate capital of all these three partners, first we have to find out a base capital. We have to find out a base capital, which is nothing but actual capital. Let me name this as first step, and this as the second, and this as the third. This third step, how are we getting? 1 divided by 2. That is actual capital divided by profit sharing ratio. You will get a amount. So 40,000 divided by 3, your answer is here 13,333. 20,000 divided by 2, it is 10,000. 20,000 divided by 1, it is 20,000. So here we have to take the smallest amount as the base capital. We have to take the smallest amount as the base capital. Okay. Now after fixing this base capital, we proceed with finding out the proportionate capital. Proportionate capital. How are we going to find this proportionate capital? Is this base capital will have to be multiplied by their respective profit sharing ratio. That is, for A, proportionate capital will be 3 into 10,000, which is 30,000. For B, proportionate capital is 2 into 10,000, which is 20,000. For C, it is 1 into 10,000, which is 10,000. So, how are we getting this? Base capital into respective profit sharing ratio. That is how we are getting the proportionate capital. So as per the profit sharing ratio, we assume that the proportionate capital should be 30, 20, 10. But actual capital is how much? 40, 20 and 20. So when comparing this actual capital and proportionate capital, we calculate how much is the surplus capital contributed by each partner. So this surplus capital is nothing but first step minus the fourth step. So from here, okay, 40 minus 30. Surplus capital of A is 10,000. Surplus capital of B is nil. Surplus capital of C is 10,000. So both A and C are having surplus capital of 10,000 and 10,000. If both their profit sharing ratio is the same, then we can stop the calculation with this. We have to settle A and C each with 10, 10, and then only we can proceed to give A, B and C in the profit sharing ratio. But A's profit sharing ratio is 3, C's profit sharing ratio is 1. So again we have to repeat this process of finding out among these two who is having excess capital. Between A and C, who is having surplus capital. We repeat the previous steps. So surplus capital, and then let me name this as the sixth step, profit sharing ratio. So based on this, I again fix up a base capital. Again I fix up a base capital, which is nothing but fifth step divided by 6. That is your profit sharing ratio. 10,000 divided by 3 is giving you 3,333. And then 10,000 divided by 1 is giving you 10,000. Between these two figures, we are taking as usual the smallest amount as the base capital. And then we are again finding out the proportionate capital between A and C. Proportionate capital, which is 7th step into respective profit. So 3 into 3,333, 10,000, and then 1 into 3,333, you get it as 3,333. Okay, so now comparing the surplus capital and the proportionate capital, we again find out the absolute surplus capital. We find out the absolute, this is the 9th step, absolute surplus capital. That is between A and C, who is having the surplus. So this is 5th step minus the 8th step. That is from this surplus capital we are minusing this. So 10 minus 10, nil. 10 minus 3,333, you get 6,667. So between A and C, who is having surplus capital? C is having surplus capital of 6,667. Unless and until you settle the 6,667, no amount can be given to A or B. So after settling 6,667 to C, you proceed with giving A and C in the ratio of 3:1 up to the amount of 10,000 plus 3,333, that is 13,333. I'll tell you distribution, how the distribution should take place. Okay, A, B and C. Okay, first, nothing to A, nothing to B. First we have to settle 6,667, and then next up to the tune of this step. Okay, that is 10,000 plus 3,333. So that gives you 13,333. You will divide it in the ratio of 3:1 between A and C. Okay, till you settle 13,333, nothing can be given to B. And then finally, whatever amount comes, finally, remaining amount can be given to A, B and C in the ratio of 3:2:1. So again I repeat, here I have explained you a method of distribution of cash to the partners during dissolution of partnership firm. There are two methods, proportionate capital method and maximum loss method. When a partnership firm is dissolved, all the assets cannot be realized together at one single point of time. Assets will be sold and cash will be realized gradually only. As and when the assets are sold and cash is realized, it will be used to settle the liabilities in a particular order of priority. First, outsiders' liability will be settled. Then, loan given by the partners will be settled. And then finally, the amount due towards the partners' capital accounts will have to be settled. And when we are settling this partners' capital account, there are two methods, proportionate capital method and maximum loss method. So in this problem, I have taken up with the proportionate capital method of settling the partners' capital. So in this problem, A, B and C are three partners with their actual capital of 40,000, 20,000 and 20,000. Their profit sharing ratio is 3:2:1. The assumption in this method is, based on that profit sharing ratio, if any partner is having surplus capital, then that partner's surplus capital will have to be settled first, and then only the amount can be paid to the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So for finding out the proportionate capital, we are finding a base capital. So for finding the base capital, it is actual capital divided by profit sharing ratio. I get the answers like this: 13,333, 10,000 and 20,000. Among these three figures, I am fixing the smallest amount as the base capital. Then based on this base capital, I am finding out the proportionate capital. That is base capital into the respective profit sharing ratio. So 3 into 10,000 30, 2 into 10,000 20, 1 into 10,000 10,000. These are the proportionate capitals of the partners A, B and C respectively. So we are comparing the actual capital with the proportionate capital and we are getting the surplus capital. First step minus the fourth step. So from 40,000 you minus the proportionate capital 10, 20 minus 20 nil, 20 minus 10 10. So A and C are having surplus capital of 10,000 and 10,000. If both their profit sharing ratio is same, we can stop the calculation with this. We have to settle 10 10 each to A and C, and then whatever amount later we get, that will be used for settling A, B and C. But A's profit sharing ratio is 3 and B's profit sharing ratio is 1. So between these two, again we have to proceed with who is having surplus capital. For this we have to repeat the previous steps. So surplus capital and then profit sharing ratio 3, 1. Surplus capital divided by profit sharing ratio, you get 3,333 here, 10,000 here. Among these two figures, the smallest amount is taken as the base capital. Fixing this base capital, we are finding out the next new proportionate capital, that is profit sharing ratio into base capital. 3 into 3,333, 10. 1 into 3,333, 3,333. So, in the second step of calculation, their proportionate capital in the ratio of 3:1 is 10,000 is to 3,333. So again we are finding out the absolute between these two, who is having the surplus capital. So from their surplus capital minus the new proportionate capital, this 10 minus 10 nil, 10 minus 3,333, 6,667. So C only is having surplus capital of 6,667. So first settlement will have to be made to C. Okay, after settling the 6,667, we can proceed with the settlement of money towards A and C to the ratio of 3 is to 1 to the tune of 13,333. Once this 13,333 is settled, then A, B and C can be settled in the ratio of 3 is to 2 is to 1. So here I have just shown you a distribution method, A, B and C. Okay, first whatever we get to the tune of 6,667, payment has to be made to C. Unless we pay to C, nothing can be given to A and B. Once 6,667 is settled, then we have to go for settling A and C in the ratio of 3 is to 1 up to the tune of 13,333. That is this 8th step, proportionate, new proportionate capital. Okay, 3 is to 1. Once this 13,333 is settled in the ratio of 3 is to 1, any remaining realization can be used for settling A is to B is to C in the ratio of 3 is to 2 is to 1. Hope you all understood this proportionate capital method calculation clear. Thank you.